Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Coding My Way In. And today we have a very packed video. So it's actually my first time that I actually had to write down some notes before I started the video because I want to make sure that I cover everything that I need to cover. So without further ado, let's get to the project. So as you guys know, last week I was going to add a little bit more features to make the website more complete and look more realistic. And if you go back to the previous video, about and contact us was not there. So it was owners and something else that I think dealers. So I had owners because the website in Nissan had an owners section, but the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, let me add an about section. Especially when I started working on the section, I started thinking more with the information that I was adding. And the more information that I added and the more that I worked around it, the more it just sounded like an about page. So this is what I created and decided to go from owners to about. So this is the final product of the about section, and I'm actually very proud of this. So I added a nice background image and thought about reimagining your drive with a Nissan, and I decided to put an image with the steering wheel so you can imagine yourself like driving the vehicle and how it will feel when you drive it. And then I decided to use a little bit of the inspiration of the things that I already did for the other component, the car details, and then I just decided to like work around and put some more information and stuff. But here I decided to add a mission statement for the website. I decided to add what does Nissan have to offer: 15 models to choose from, 5 vehicles, 110 years of manufacturing experience. So like some of a promo for the website, some information about our mission statement for as a company as a whole. I decided to add some origins of Nissan. I did not know that this company has been around since 1911 and over 100 years. Nissan has been part of the motor vehicle industry. And I added some more photos to make it look more professional. And then I added this thing, regardless of speed or power, Nissan has you covered. So I thought that sounded very nice. And I just added like more details about what you will see on an about page when you go to a website for vehicles. So I make sure that when the person goes in, gets a nice user-friendly experience. And I think I was able to capture the essence of what an about page should look like. And of course, we make sure it's responsive. We want to make sure all the time that it works on all. Look how nice this looks, man! Wow, this looks amazing. And you always want to make sure that it's responsive, that the user has a nice experience when they go in. I want to make sure that this feels as real as possible. So in addition to adding this section, I was thinking about a different approach. I wanted something else because there was a dealer section on the website of Nissan, their real website, and it was using a little bit of Google Maps, and it would show you the dealers near your area. And then I was like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, it would look cool, I would implement Google Maps and things of that nature. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, if somebody wants to look where is their nearest dealer for Nissan, I think they would do it themselves, and they would just go to Google Maps. So it wouldn't make sense for me to do it when I know for a fact somebody will go to Google Maps instead. So I was like, you know what, let me do something else. And then I decided, okay, to make this even more realistic, and like I told you guys, I want to take this project from front end all the way to full stack. The next thing that I thought, okay, since I'm not going to do this dealer section, let me do a contact us. So I decided to create a website, very simple, straight to the point. If a user wants to contact the company, they will have the required fields: name, last name, contact, and all that stuff in a message. And when they submit, I want them to be able to submit it. And then what I did was I created, and I want to make sure you guys see it. I was able to use a mock JSON server so when somebody fills this form and submits, it goes to the mock server. So before I continue, let me fill this information first, and I'll tell you why. So for some reason, not for some reason, but I don't want my phone number being shown when I'm writing, when I'm filling this thing. So let's go back. Now you guys should be able. So I filled the email and the contact because I have to do it auto, and it gives my personal information, which I don't want to share. So you'll see that it's working. So let's write Izzy. Let's put WSA, the contact and the phone number, location. Let's put the moon. And then there's different options. Do you own a Nissan or not? Let's say yes. Select a subject. I have a question. Shopping for a Nissan. My current Nissan services. Let's do shopping for a Nissan vehicle. And then for a message, let's say hello YouTube. You wouldn't write that, but just to prove the point. So what's going to happen is when I click the submit button, two things are going to happen. One, you're going to get a nice pop-up notification here, and it's going to go automatically here. So when I press submit, boom, your form has been submitted, and automatically you see here we wrote Izzy, Israel, the email, the phone, the location, yes, and the message. So it gives a nice realistic website. And not only that, as soon as you submit the form, it takes you back to the home page. So I was very proud of that. So I did that using a mock server, and man, it looks so cool when you do that. And how I did that, for those that might be new to web development, so you can either use a real server or you can make a mock one. And the way that you do it is very simple. You install the package, and here it is. It's called npie-d.json server, and D is for development. So for a mock server, that's what you will use. And once you have that, you'll go to your package.json, and you will make sure to add that here. So you will add here server, and then you would add json-server --watch, and then source data. Why is source data? Because the JSON file that I made is in the source folder, and then is inside the data folder, and the JSON file is called form data. That's why source data form.json. Now, the other thing that you have to do is you need a port, and when you open the server, it needs to open somewhere. So you guys know, like localhost 3000, that's exactly what it is. So in this case, I just did 8000. Why? I just did 8000. And with that, you're able immediately to have your own mock server, so you can try things before you transfer this to a real one for production. And as you can see, let me see. Okay, so I have three terminals. I have the local. The local is just simply to open the website, which is, this is what you see. And then you have the npm package. I have it on purpose so I can install any packages that I need when I need. And then I have the server. So when you put npm run server, it opens the server and it gives you the link, so you can add. And you see it's called forms -forms. Why? Because when you go into the JSON file, that's how it starts. It says forms, and that's how you do it. And this is how it looks on your VS Code, and this is how it looks in reality. This is how the JSON file will look. So you see the information is nice, subtle. And what happens if I delete it? If I delete this, boom, and I refresh, it's gone. So we're making sure that it's working. Now, how was I able to do this? I had to use useState, useEffect, and I used useNavigate. So in addition to a package called Toastify. So this is how it worked. Boom, I want to make sure I got this because it's very important. So now we know the form this is how we use it, and this is how I started it. This is how it looked. And as you can see, it has the inputs of the form as you go. So you see, if you look at the inputs, everything follows accordingly. So it's not like the message is up and the first name is down. So everything follows accordingly. So when it passes through the submission, you have it there. So now we go here. So how did I was able to do this? It's simple, but it took me some time because I had to go back and learn about using servers and stuff. Because again, I'm new to this, but I was able to use resources and I was able to figure it out. So the way that I did it was, first of all, you need to bring and you gotta fetch the local host. We know that the local host is 8,000. That's forms. So we use a use effect. We create a function. And remember, when you're using use effect, there's two things that you have to do. You need a function and a dependency array, which is here. So we did the sync await. As you can see, it's boilerplate, but I added a try catch just in case there's an error. You don't have to do it. You can get rid of the try catch and you'll be just fine. But developers like to have that just in case things go wrong. They have a message or something. So through this, I'm fetching the form. And then what I did was, for every input on the form, I did a state. As you can see here, I did a state. First name and set first name. And then I did that with a value, because on the inputs you have to have value and on change, as you can see here. So the value will be the name of the state, and then the on change will be the function name of the state. And you have to add this, because if you don't, then you cannot type and it's only readable for the user. So I was able to do that through that, and I'm able to pass with a form, and it's called new form, and it follows the same path. The object has to match the same structure of the mock API. So if you look at the JSON file, it follows the same structure. And the way that I was able to combine it, what I did was I combined, as you can see here, this is a prop, and this prop right here, I did it through here. So the contact us is the component. So I passed this prop plus the add form here. And what I did here, I did the HTTP method, which is, you guys know, post adds, gets requests, put updates, and delete deletes. So I fetched the host again, the JSON server, and then I did the HTTP method so it can post, and then doing the JSON that stringify, so we can turn the objects into, so we can stringify things. So once I was able to connect the two of them, and I pass it here, then it becomes, they both connect, and that's how you're able to connect it. I know I went very fast, but I like to keep these videos at least 15 minutes or less. And what update that I wanted to give you guys was that I'm going to put the project on pause for a couple of days, because I want to start learning a little bit about the back end. So I'm going to be learning about Node and Express to get more proficient about it, because one thing that I want to do for the website is I want to be able to apply, so when you go to buy Nissan, I want to be able for the user to be able to see the vehicle, most likely something like this, and through this button I want to be able to, when you click, that becomes the vehicle that you want. Meaning, so if you click the Rogue and this says by Nissan, when I press this button, it should take you to a shopping cart with some details of the vehicles, and that's where I will add a Stripe payment method. And in order for me to get this done, I really have to get my hands dirty and learn a lot more from the back end, since I don't know much of it. So that's going to be my next thing for the couple of days, of learning more about Node and Express to get more familiar with the back end. And again, I know I went quite fast trying to explain this, but I just like to keep it as 15 minutes or less, these videos, to give you guys information. And yeah, I know it was a lot. We were able to get this information, but yeah, I just want to give you guys an update. And thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace.